Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B Miles coming to you live once again with another live stream. I wanted to holler at y'all this early rising. Wanted y'all to come, like, you know what I mean? This is real talk. Something that I've been looking at, something I actually heard about years ago, but I felt like, you know what I mean, doing more research up on it, and it's something that we gotta really take a look at. It's definitely something that is really very it's just kind of like a continuation from yesterday's talk. And like I said, I'm going to be talking about a couple, probably talk about one or two things on here, but then we're going to have a discussion. Hey, Melanin, 100%. Hey, my sister. And this is some information, man, that I got I got was looking up on Google and stuff like that, and I firmly believe that, brothers and sisters, we need to hear something about this, of this magnitude and stuff like that. This is something that, I really took a lot of time writing last night, and I really took a lot of time writing this thing last night, and I firmly believe that, brothers and sisters, AJ Rock 973, something that we need to like really pay attention to. You know what I mean? We really need to pay attention to, for real, because it is a very we live in a very critical time right now, and we really need to pay attention. You know what I mean? Pay attention on this stuff. I mean, I did a lot of writing. It took time, looking up this information. It took time to write this out. And I firmly believe that, brothers and sisters, we need to hear this stuff. You know, I'm gonna say, from yesterday's stream, it was a lot of stuff that I've learned from a lot of people yesterday and stuff like that. And it was like many things that I saw that just really, really blew my mind. As far as it's like, what's going on around us. It's like, a lot of things is happening, but there's a lot of other things that are going on right now that we need to pay attention to, for real. And we need to really pay close attention. I don't see y'all comments up in here. It's good to see some of y'all up. I know it's hella early right now, but like I said, I'm gonna try to stream a little much as I can on here. Hey, what's up, Malik Davis? I mean, I probably wait till like 9:30. I just wanted to see who was up for a minute, because I feel like we got to talk about this. Oh, thank you, Melon, 100%. And like I said, I want brothers and sisters to know, while on this platform, all of us on here, we are here to learn. I am here to learn, all that stuff. And I want brothers and sisters to know and understand that, while on this journey, it's going to be, hey, what's up, Travis Moore? Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean? That's why I do my due diligence to look up these articles and to hey, Pisces the King, Grand Rising, brother. Oh, happy born day, brother. Happy born day. Happy born day, Pisces the King. You've been on here for quite some time, my brother. Hey, Justice. Hey, Pisces the King. Yo, brother. If you have some information that you can pass on to me that I can read and research and study on Pisces the King, send it over to me as well, because I'm doing these streams for a reason right now, because I want people to really understand, it's going to come to a time they not going to see me stream as much. They not going to, hey girl, they not going to be see me streaming as much. And I want brothers and sisters to know, when I bring this information, and stuff like that, man. I be talking with the fam and stuff like that about this information, and doing the research, like they tell me, look these things up all the time and just bring it to y'all. I be looking up articles and stuff like that. But oh, thank you, Justice. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. But the reason why I'm taking my time, because I have some important, very important information that I actually heard about. I looked it up on YouTube, and I looked it up on Google, and it's very, very information that needs to be talked about. And this is actually dealing with the Nasara Act. The Nasara Act right here. And have y'all happening right now. You know what I mean? From my analysis, for real, this ties in to what I'm talking. You know what I mean? To what I'm talking about right now. How many of y'all have heard of that? The Nasara Act. Y'all kind of quiet. Y'all kind of quiet right now because, like I said, I understand it's still early, and like I said, like just want to see more and more people come up in here, come up in the chat, because if more, you know what I mean, like Melanin 100%, it's NESARA, the Nasara Act, and this is information that is actually tying in. Hey Jackie Simmons, hey Spacey man, what's going on? And I'm actually going to have y'all. I'm actually going to give y'all the reference where I found it at. You know what I mean? Heard about the Pisces the King. Yup, I heard certain some states they're closing schools for the remainder of the year. Yup, I'm telling you right now, in town, you know what I mean, in Baltimore right now, it is a ghost town. It is a ghost town. You know what I mean? Like they literally not even letting us on the front of the bus. We got to get on the back of the bus. They got it chained off. Hey, Quentin Miller, what's going on, brother? Yeah, man, I'm talking about they got it chained off right now. It's chained off. The buses are chained off from the front. We got to get on we got to get on the bus from the back. So that means we are riding the bus for free right now. That's what's going on right now. I'm talking about in Baltimore right now. Even as like I'm riding the bus downtown with B4 it is a ghost town. It is hardly anybody out right now. All over the world, schools have shut down. Yeah, they shut down schools, like literally, man. Like this, you know what I mean? We are at a very, very critical time. Hey, Lakeisha Bridges, Charlotte like a ghost town too. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Sage. Well, she over there chilling right now. It is a ghost town, and I got to say, man, like looking around, yeah, man, I got to say, looking around town, I'm like, wow, yeah, you right, yup. Yeah, you right, Quick Miller. Yup, it's heavy fall for 2 days. Yup, which is odd. Yup, it was raining, now it's foggy, all that stuff. It's real in Atlanta too. Nathaniel Brown, Bradley, I feel you, man. And like I said, I mean, if I, you know what I mean, if I put out the wrong information, you know what I mean, it is up to y'all to correct me. You know what I mean? Like if I might have said something, you know what I mean that that might have been wrong, you know what I mean? I'll be mad enough to let you know, you know what I mean, that I was incorrect. You know, that's what students do. But fam, I really want y'all to like pay close attention to what I'm about to read to y'all. It is called the Nasara Act, right? And now I'm actually going to give you a brief history. I checked it out. Now I actually got the link, copy and paste to my clipboard. I can leave the link. And this person has many other links and resources connecting this thing, right? And the Nasara Act, I'm gonna give you all a brief history on the Nasara Act. All right, they said like the Nasara Act, right? They said like late one evening on March 9th, 2000, on March the 9th, 2000, right? You know, there was a written quorum call, a written quorum call, which was hand delivered by the Delta Force personnel and Navy SEALs to 15 members of the U.S. Senate at the U.S. House, who were sponsors and the co-sponsors of Nasara. They were immediately escorted by the Delta Force and these Navy SEALs to their respective voting chambers, you know, where they passed the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. They said these 15 members of Congress were the only people lawfully allowed to hold office in accordance. Hey, Sage, here she go. She's protecting me. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. That's my girl right there. Yeah, y'all Sage had to come. Yep. Yep, that were lawfully allowed to hold office in accordance with the original 13th Amendment. Listen, remember, if you the British soldiers destroyed the copies of the titles of nobilities amendment, which is called TONA, the title of nobilities amendment. Now, what is the titles of nobility? They said an order of men in several countries to whom privileges are granted at the expense of the rest of the people. They said in the emoluments. I'm sorry, emoluments. Yep, it's called emoluments, offices, or titles from foreign states and monarchies without the consent of the United States Congress. This is what they talking about dealing with the titles of nobility. Now check this out, right? Yep, the titles of nobility in the War of 1812, because it prevented anyone who had his ties to the crown of England from holding public office. Nasara is the most groundbreaking Reformation Act to sweep not only this country but the whole entire planet's whole entire planet history. Check this out. Are y'all listening? Are y'all listening? They said the act does away with the Federal Reserve Bank, the IRS, and the shadow government, and much more. It's much more. They said is representative of the government of our nation, finally, quote unquote, finally subordinating into serving Americans. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Into serving Americans. Yep. And matter of fact, I want y'all to listen closely. Can y'all get them likes up? Where y'all comments at? Hey, Sage. Hey, Kid XO. All right, check this out, right? They said the Nazara Act implements the following changes and provides the following. Check this out. Listen, they so cool in LCG. They said, check this out. The Nazara Act implements it zeroes out all credit, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities that created and participated and precipitated this debt. This is the Federal Reserve's worst nightmare, quote unquote, or jubilee or forgiveness of debt. Or forgiveness of debt. They say it abolishes income tax, abolishes the IRS. Employees of the IRS will be transferred into the U.S. Treasury national sales tax area. Sage, what are you doing? National sales tax area. It creates a 14% flat rate of non-essential new items, only sales tax revenue for the government. They said, in other words, they said food and medicine will not be taxed, nor items such as old homes. They said it increases benefits to senior citizens. It returns constitutional law to all court and legal matters. They said it reinstates the original title of nobility amendment. This clause reads, quote unquote, no title or nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office or or holding any office or they said holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, except of any present in emolument. Emolument, office, or title of any kind, whatever, from any king, prince, or quote unquote forgiven state. This is called the Nasara Act. This is called the Nasara Act. Nesara Act. You can Google this up right here. And I did I did the research right here, and I'm reading this to y'all. This is stuff that I've written. This is stuff that I've written down last night. I got this source from Google, and it's actually I got it from up on LinkedIn. I got it from up on LinkedIn and stuff like that. Now check this out. They said, quote unquote, if any citizen of all right, listen, are y'all checking this? Y'all check it out, right? All right, check it out, right? They said if any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any accept and retain. They also said any present pension, office, emolument, or any kind whatever. They said from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States, shall be incapable of holding any office or profit under them or either them. They said, and check this out. They said this right here, it establishes a new presidential and congressional elections with 120 days after Nasara's announcement. Sage, really? Come on, girl. Get your booty out my face. Come out. They said also sit down. They also said the interim government will cancel all national emergencies and return us back to the constitutional based law and legal system. It creates a new treasury rainbow currency, which is actually backed up by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, thus ended the bankruptcy of the United States, initiated by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933 and the instigation of the Federal Reserve. Thank you, Melanie, 100%. Thank you. That's right. The Nazara Act 2020. It monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities of special interest groups. That same with Rashid Holmes. That sound like dealing with lobbyists and stuff like that. Also saying if a bids the sale of American birth certificate records as chattel property bonds by the U.S. Department of Transportation. Don't they look at us as chattel property? And check this out. It initiates new U.S. Treasury bank system in alignment with constitutional law. It eliminates the Federal Reserve System. During the transition period of the Federal Reserve will be allowed to operate side by side. It restores financial privacy. It retains all judges and attorneys in a constitutional law. They said seizes all aggressive U.S. government military actions worldwide, establishes a platform for the United States to lead the world towards peace, and also releases enormous sums of money for a multitude of humanitarian purposes. And then the last one enabled the release of over 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies that are being withheld from the public under the guise of national security, including free energy devices, anti-gravity, and sonic healing machines. This is what the Nasara Act is actually talking about. This is, wow. This act, from what it sounds like, man, is freeing up the people. Did y'all hear what I just read? Because I'm going to come back and read this later. When there's more of us on this stream, I'm going to come back to this later. But did y'all read, you know what I mean? Did y'all hear what I just read? This is the Nasara Act. The Nasara Act. Hey, RC Pants. Yup, and guess what, right? The Nasara Act, it was signed into law October 10th, 2000, to be announced. Listen, it was going to be announced on September the 11th. Look it up. Look it up. Are y'all there with me? Are y'all there with me? Let me know if y'all there. Did y'all read that? Did y'all hear what I have to say? Right. Ain't it interesting? Right. Thank you. Yup. She said the Nasara Act 2020. This is what. Hey, Renee Smith. Yup. Hey, Cora Maya. Oh, nah, Cora. Oh, nah. But I appreciate that, though. Hey, Jackie Gillespie. Hey, Angel. Hey, Angel Girl Jane. Yup. You feel what I'm saying? This is actually, you know what I mean? I actually, you know what I mean? Hey, what's going on, Cora? Yup. This is something that I've actually researched, and I've written this thing down. And they talking about the title of nobility. They said an order of men in several countries to whom privileges are granted at the expense of the rest of the people. In precision, Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution that prohibits the federal government from granting titles of nobilities and restrict members of the government from receiving gifts, emoluments, offices, members of the government from offices or titles from foreign states and monarchies without the consent of the United States Congress. That's dealing with the titles of nobility. That's the definition. An emolument is a salary or fee from employment office. It was designed to shield the federal office holders of the United States against so-called quote-unquote corrupting foreign influences. The clause is reinforced by the correspondent on state of titles of nobility in Article 1, Section 10. In Article 1, Section 10. You know what I mean? Look, I looked. You can Google this up. You can Google up the Nasara Act. You can look it up on YouTube, all of this stuff. Yeah, I heard about that. T Freeman, they said stimulus checks supposed to be arriving in 2 weeks. Supposed to be $1,000. Read an article on it was passed a day ago. Yup. And they also right, they already signed what they doing right about now. They talking about what they doing right about now. They talking about like, you know what I mean, like $1 trillion like stimulus. You know what I mean? They talk about $1 trillion stimulus. So what I believe is 50 billion going to the airlines, and also they were saying 250 billion, I believe, for like the public and stuff like that. Yep, 250 billion from the public. I mean, who knows? It should be more than that. You said what article was this again? It's called the NESARA Act. NESARA. The NESARA Act. And this was signed October the 10th, 2000 when Clinton was in office. Yup. So right after, you know what I mean? Yup. So right after when Bush got into office, and guess what? They said this was to be announced on September the 11th, 2001. The act was supposed to be announced on September the 11th. The NESARA Act. Yes, you can look this up. Yes, family. This is real. Hey, Camp High, yeah, this is real, man. This is actually going to be, you know what I mean, for what it sounds like, you know what I mean, freeing up the people. They talking about abolishing income tax, abolishing the IRS, abolishing the Federal Reserve, because those entities have pretty much put us in debt. They said it's supposed to be some sort of to be mailed, sort of like a care package. Yeah, I wonder how I know they said like 1,000. You know what I mean? Sending, I feel as though it should be more than that. I really feel as though it should be more than 1,000. I mean, $1,000. I mean, it ain't a lot of money, but I mean, shit. I mean, mail be my fucking check. You feel me? But I'm just saying, like, yep, this said increases the benefits to senior citizens. I mean, are y'all reading this right here? This sounds like that we are going to be freed up from, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It sounds like to me like, you know what I mean, that we pretty much are going to be freed up. I'm talking about this sounds like this is going to be like, you know what I mean, like dealing with like real equality. This sounds like dealing with real equality and stuff like that. That is exactly what it's signed to me for real. That this is really dealing with like real true equality. About this sorry. I'm talking about like they talk about restore financial privacy, you know what I mean, seize all aggressive U.S. government military actions worldwide. They talking about establish a platform for the United States to lead the world towards peace because we've always been at war. Releases enormous sums of money for a multitude of humanitarian purposes. In what else? It monitors elections and prevents illegal action activities of special interest groups. Well, hey Sage. Hey Aha. Hey, that's my girl Sage. Hey girl. Hey. Hey girl. Say hi to everybody. Well, come here, girl. Don't be shy. Mwah. Hey Nuff. Hey, it's my girl. Hey girl. Hey girl. What's up, Dion Tucker? Hey girl. She saying hi. You don't gotta be all shy. Sage, don't be blocking. Trust him. I told you she was gonna come. Yeah, Jackie. Yeah, that's my girl. Look at her. Yeah. Yeah, she my protector. She looking for something. Yeah, she be at work. Hey, Truth Seeker. 37 members of the United States Pentagon and 18 members got the Rona. All right, thank you. Oh no, Patricia, I ain't letting this girl go nowhere. That's my girl. She love me. I love her. Yeah, man. So that pretty much signed to me. They gonna cancel all the debt out. That means all debt. You know what I mean? That sounds like to me all debt is going to be canceled out. Do y'all need me to read this again? To those of y'all who come up on here, I'm talking about the NESARA Act. Two days ago. Do y'all want me to read this again about the NESARA Act? Sure, absolutely, North. Matter of fact, drop that link into my email. And like I said, North, You know what I mean? Like I tell everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like we are on here for real. You know what I mean? We all learning from each other. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a student. Enough. Do you have more information dealing with the Star Children and stuff like that as well, my brother? Hey, Lauren Fire. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? But how many of y'all are familiar with the Nasara Act? And do y'all need me to read it over again for brothers and sisters? You know what I mean? And at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? If there's some, hey, Talisha Clark, what's going on, sis? Hit me up when you done, all right? Hit me up on IG. Yeah, a fan. Do y'all need me to read this again about the Nasara Act? All right, okay, check this out, right? I want y'all to listen real closely. I'm going to read this again. It's called the Nasara Act, right? All right, they said this. All right, check it out. I'm going to give y'all the brief history and I'm going to outline what it's talking about. They said on late evening, March the 9th, 2000, a written quorum. Matter of fact, let me stand up for this shit. I got to stand up. Ah, I gotta, I gotta stand up for this one, family. This is deep stuff. Shit, hell, you better give me my damn stimulus package. Shit. All right, check it out. Y'all ready? They said on late evening, March the 9th, 2000, a written quorum was hand delivered by the Delta Force personnel and Navy SEALs to 15 members of the U.S. Senate and the House who were sponsors and co-sponsors of Nasara. They were immediately escorted by the Delta Force and these Navy SEALs to their respective voting chambers where they passed the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. That's what Nasara means, the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. These 15 members of Congress were the only people lawfully allowed to hold office in accordance with the original 13th Amendment. They said, remember, if you will, that British soldiers destroyed copies of the Titles of Nobility Amendment in the War of 1812 because it prevented anyone who had ties to the Crown of England from holding public office. Nasara is the most groundbreaking Reformation Act to sweep not only the country but our entire planet history. This act does away with the Federal Reserve Bank, the IRS, the shadow government, and much more. It's representative of the government of our nation. They say finally, quote unquote, subordinating and serving Americans. Listen, family, the Nasara Act implements the changes, provides for the following. Are y'all following me? It zeroes out all credit, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities that created and participated and precipitated this debt. They said this is the Federal Reserve's worst nightmare, quote unquote, a jubilee or forgiveness of debt. It abolishes income tax. It abolishes the IRS. Employees of the IRS will be transferred to the U.S. Treasury National Sales Tax area. It creates a 14% flat rate of non-essential new items, only sale tax revenue for the government. In other words, food and medicine will not be taxed. No items such as old homes. It increases benefits for senior citizens. It returns constitutional law to all court and legal matters. It reinstates the original title of nobility amendment. This clause reads, quote unquote, no title or nobility shall be granted by the United States in person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, except of any present emolument, office, or title, any kind, whatever, or from any king, prince, or I'm sorry, any prince or quote unquote forgiven state. Quote unquote, if any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any, except in, I'm sorry, let me slow down, and retain any, see, see how they had to buffer me? Oh, nah, yep. Yeah, that's right, Cobra. Yup. Yeah, the system is about to reset. That's exactly what I'm saying. This goes right along to what I'm saying. I appreciate that, Cobra. Yup. Should be a citizen. Now to say should be right. Check this out. Such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States, shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them or either them. Check this out. They say it establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days after the Nassau Act is announcement. They said the interim government will cancel all national emergencies and return us back to constitutional base and legal system. It creates a new treasury rainbow currency, which is actually backed up by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, thus ended the bankruptcy of the United States initiated by the Franklin Roosevelt in 1933 and the instigation of the Federal Reserve. It monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities of special interest groups. It forbids the sale of an American birth certificate records as chattel property bonds by the United States Department of Transportation. Did y'all hear that? Chattel property. Aren't we looked upon as chattel property? African American, Negroes, blacks, and colors, as our Moor people say, our Moorish families say, that's what the Moors been telling us. That's why they telling us getting nationality. We still looked upon as chattel property. And it initiates new treasury bank system in alignment with the constitutional law. It eliminates the Federal Reserve. During the transition period, the Federal Reserve will be allowed to operate side by side. It restores financial privacy, retains all judges and attorneys in constitutional law. It seizes all aggressive U.S. government military actions worldwide, establishes a platform for the United States to lead the world towards peace, releases enormous sums of money for a multitude of humanitarian purposes, and at the same time, last but not least, it enables the release of 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies that are being withheld from the public under the guise of national security, including free energy devices, anti-gravity, and sonic healing machines. Did y'all just hear what I just read of the Nassau Act? Thank you, North. Camp Powhatan. All right, nice. See that? We got brothers and sisters giving the information out. See, this is how we learn. You see how I got in touch with North? See, I'm being humble. Because if I don't know something, y'all know it. Guess what? See how we reciprocated this stuff? Look up the Nassau Act. Nesara. Check it out. Trust me. I got the link. I also have the link. Thank you. Melon 100%. Yeah, I wrote this stuff down. And check this out. This act was signed into law October the 10th, 2000. It was going to be implemented September the 11th. It was going to be announced September the 11th. Now think about all what just happened. Did y'all see that? Cancel all debt. Because guess what? The Federal Reserve, they, you know what I mean? And the banks, they were the ones who did that. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me go. Let me go on my notes. Let me go into my notes. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just reading it. You know what I mean? I'm just reading something. You feel me? You know what I mean? Something that I researched, something I've looked up. Why do you think I've been telling y'all to look up at the damn stock market? Why do you think I've been telling y'all look at the Federal Reserve? Why do you think I've been telling y'all look at the global markets? Why do you think I've been telling y'all look at the debt crisis, look at the money? Yeah. And they said this has been hidden. They said this has been hidden from us. The Nassau Act. This is something that I looked up. I'm trying to find out. These people about the economy and stuff like that. Yeah. Ain't that some interesting stuff? Isn't that interesting what y'all just found out? Hey, Universal Star. I just read to them the Nasara Act. I just read to the family this early rising, the Nasara Act, which is dealing with this country right now. Yeah, you're right. Take 10. Yep. Yep. They said, yep. Yep. They said right here, the Nasara Act. They're gonna this act was actually signed into law by by Bill Clinton, and this was signed, and this was actually like it was a written quorum call hand delivered by the Delta Force personnel and Navy SEALs to the 15 members of the U.S. Senate and the U.S. House who were the sponsors and co-sponsors of the Nazara Act. And they said the Nazara Act is going to implement the following changes. It zeroes out all credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities that created and precipitated this debt. Yeah, because when I read about on the global currency reset, I was already telling people how they came with the Bretton Woods system. You know what I mean? They came with the Bretton Woods system in New Hampshire. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Universal Star. Now check this out. It abolishes income tax. It abolishes the IRS. It created a 14% flat rate on non-essential items. Um, Only sales tax revenue for the government, which means food and medicine will not be taxed, even such as old homes. It increases benefits to senior citizens. It returns constitutional law to all courts, reinstate the original title of nobility amendment. This clause reads, Universal Star, no title or nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office or profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of Congress, um, um, except of any present or emolument, office, or title, any kind whatever, from any king, prince, or quote unquote forgiven state. If any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any present pension, office, emolument, or any kind whatever from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States and shall be incapable of holding any office. And they saying right here, it establishes new presidential and congressional elections with 120 days after Nasara's announcement. They also said the interim government will cancel all national emergencies and return us back to the constitutional and based law and legal system. It creates a new treasury rainbow currency, which is actually backed up by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, thus ended the bankruptcy of the United States, initiated by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933 and the instigation of the Federal Reserve. So what it's saying to me that Franklin D. Roosevelt, you know what I mean, that was, I believe, like the Federal Reserve. Yep, they said the 1933 instigation of the Federal Reserve. I believe it was back in 1933 or 1913. Yep, but they said this right here under Franklin D. Roosevelt, the bankruptcy of America. That's why they came up with income tax to pay back the debt. It said it monitors elections. That's what it signed to me, Universal Star. It sounded like to me, we starting over. Canceling all debt. Yep, it says monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities of special interest groups. It forbids the transportation. The law eliminates the Federal Reserve. During the transition period, the Federal Reserve will be allowed to operate side by side. Hey, Leslie Savage reinstates all judges and attorneys in the constitutional law, seizes all aggressive U.S. government military actions worldwide, establishes a platform for the United States to lead the world towards peace, releases enormous sums of money for a multitude humanitarian purposes, and enabled the release of 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies that are being withheld from the public under the guise of national security, including free energy devices, anti-gravity, and sonic healing machines. Thank you, Miss Elbow Jones. Don't it sound like a reset? Doesn't it sound like a reset? And where is that one article I need to get for y'all? Where is that one? I've been telling people, look at the stock market. Look at the stock market. Where's that article? It's one of my favorites. Can't be over here. Come on. Hold up. I think I might have saw another article I like. Here we go. Gotcha. Bear with me, family. Here we go. Check it out. Hey, Cara S. Now, what I say about the Nasara Act, right? And ever since people, y'all saying like, that's what I'm saying. Tway is right. Gold and precious metals. Now check this out. I'm actually going to read y'all the global currency reset. How this ties in. They said the global currency reset last happened when nations gathered together to agreed upon a new global currency system. Was in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. While World War II was going on, leaders from nations around the world decided on a new global currency system. This led to the formation of global organizations like International Monetary Fund and GATT, which later became the World Trade Organization. The world's allied nations agreed on a fixed currency rate, which was sort of based on the global gold standard. The U.S. dollar was the currency that nations used to back their currency under this agreement. The reason for this because the United States was in possession of most of the most of the world's gold supply at that time. America benefited greatly from this new currency system, and the dollar made its way into central banks around the world. They said in time we left the fixed rate system. Richard Nixon stopped backing U.S. dollars with gold globally in 1971. This was known as the Nixon shock. Today, all major currencies float on the global market. While some things have changed, we are still on the remnants of the Bretton Woods system. Many central banks still have the dollar in the reserves, and it remains in high demand today. After the 2008 global meltdown, many have speculated that we are going to return to another gold standard. Some believe that there will be another monetary system altogether. Many armchair economists have emerged to claim that some nations may even base their currency values on their resources. The claim is that all currencies will revalue based on the country's assets. This will cause gold to skyrocket as people begin to seek a hedge of protection from depleting currency values. Are y'all hearing me? Are y'all hearing me? Today, the global currency reset will become a major conspiracy theory that believes the dollar bill will crash. This theory proclaims that nations around the world will abandon the dollar. As a result, people have started to prepare for a future dollar crash. They invest in precious metals, buying foreign currencies, and becoming preppers and stockpile food. This conspiracy theory has become big of items that relates to a belief in any minute overnight dollar collapse. This belief system has many converts and is cultic in nature. Part of this belief system has its origins in New Age philosophies, while other parts of this belief system are tied into biblical prophecy. As a result, new converts are made all the time. And people are driven more by emotion, ain't they worldview, rather than being driven. Oh, thank you, Take 10 for the donation, sister. And people driven by emotion in their worldview, rather than being driven by sound economic advice and principles. Did y'all just hear what I just read about the Nasara Act and the global currency reset? Y'all see how this whole entire thing ties in? That's why I've been telling people you gotta pay close attention. Look at the oil market, look at the trade war, look at the currency. And don't you know that we are going into digital currency? Don't it's like a reset? I'll be right back. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm back. But yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all. But like, isn't that now I'm back here. I had to go to the bathroom real quick. But right, isn't that some like enlightened stuff that you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I heard about that. Yup. 144,000 sealed indictments. I'm gonna look into that. I keep hearing about that. But yeah, fam, as far as that Nasara Act and this global currency reset, do y'all kind of see where I'm going? Because I'm going to come back with this later. I'm just glad that y'all up for the early morning rise and to like really hear this stuff because this is real. This is what's happening. And check this out. Don't you know the Nasara Act was signed October 9th? No, October the 10th, 2000. It was signed into law. And then at the same time, check it out. They said it was actually supposed to be announced. Guess what date? September the 11th, 2001. Now think about all that. About what I'm reading. I've researched this stuff. And I'm still looking up more. Do y'all not see what's going on? That sounds like a reset. You feel me, Universal Star? This is crazy what I'm reading. This is man, this is real. And you know what? You said Simpson showed the parcel delivered with the virus in the parcel. You know what? Something came to my mind. I'm not sure how true it is. This is just a thought. Cause listen, while we on here, I don't want people to take anything what I'm saying on face value. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because B4T tell me all the time, like, yeah, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Just make sure you're on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want anybody. Because I'm very influential and I don't want anybody to take this information on what I'm saying the wrong way or take it on face value. That's why I say on all of my videos, I leave the article in the description box so you can also do further research on your own. Because I'm becoming more of a better researcher. But I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying on face value. But this is a thought. What are those What if those packages are being sent? You know what I mean? Could have the virus in it to affect people. And you know they send down, they deliver checks to Americans. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how true that is, but I'm just saying it's a thought. Cause they already have a dad going, they already got like $1 billion stimulus package that they supposed to be coming with over the next couple weeks. You feel what I'm saying? So all of us on here got to study. You know what I mean? To show ourselves approved, including me. You feel me? So I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying just on face value. I'm telling you, man, like I take my time to write this stuff. I really take my time. You feel me? I'm just saying, like, what are those, you know what I mean? What if those packages are being sent over and it might have something in it? Yep, and you're right. Most imports are from China. You're right. Yeah, man, I just gave y'all some very important information. Some very important information. Yeah, I know. Sky, right. They giving us, who knows? And guess what? They probably thinking like, yeah, these are them niggas, you know what I mean? These are them nigga reparations. You feel me? Yeah, you right, Universal Star. Yeah, spray that shit before you open it. I mean, shit. Hey. I mean, shit. All of us need that fucking stimulus. You feel me? But fam, I'm gonna jump off for a little hot second, take care of something with the fam. You know what I mean? And this is real, fam. So I'm glad that we were on here early this rising. And like I said, fam, I'm gonna come back a little later because I might come back around like 10. I'm gonna read this stuff all over again. You feel me? But fam, y'all appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in a few, all right? Peace out.